feel that long ago that we were talking about the Daytona 500 and surprise winner Ricky Stenhouse Jr. walking away with a victory in the great American race. And here we are at the conclusion of 2023, and Ryan Blaney is a first-time NASCAR Cup Series champion. Hi, everyone. Doug Rice, along with PRN's Brad Gillie, and our celebrity co-host of the day, fresh back from Phoenix, Kyle Petty. Kyle, did you just hop off the red eye and come into the studio?
That's exactly right. Got home this morning. You can hear it in my voice. About 4:30. Went to the house, played guitar a little while. Kids got up, fed them some cereal. You know, just open your mouth. I'm pouring it down your throat. And now I'm here with you guys.
Glad the kiddos got a nutritious breakfast.
That was it, man. You know me.
All right, Ryan. Ryan Blaney wins the title, his first ever back-to-back championships for Penske Racing, as Ford sweeps all of the titles. They win the Craftsman Truck Series, Xfinity, and Cup Series. And Brad Gillie, Ryan Blaney, halfway through the year, would you have picked Ryan Blaney on your bingo card to be the champion?
I don't think I would have halfway through the year. I mean, look, when he won the Coca-Cola 600, that was a big win, and that was a pretty convincing win. And you thought, wow, everyone's saying that the Fords are just not good on intermediate tracks or struggling here and there and so on. And I thought, all right, here we go. This is the launching point for Ryan Blaney and for Team Penske. And then the next thing you know, he goes 15 races without finishing better than ninth. And that part really surprised me. So during that stretch, no, I don't think I would have thought Ryan Blaney would have been here. And if we go back to our pre-playoffs predictions, if you remember, Doug, I actually had Ryan Blaney going out in the first round. So don't listen to me.
So there you go. That shows how much we know and how we can forecast the future. And, of course, Blaney afterwards in the media center said this was easily his biggest moment.
This tops everything, right? This is what you dream of as a kid. This is what you strive for. This is what you run 35 races a year for, you know, to get to this moment, to have a shot at the championship, and then you have to run a perfect race to get it. So, oh, yeah, definitely huge moment, not only for me. I mean, everybody involved in it. It's way bigger than I am, and I can't thank those folks enough for doing what they do.
Kyle Petty, how close was his race to perfect?
Listen, I think he finished the season with almost two perfect races. The way I looked at it, and I'm a Brad Gillie. I had him out in the first round, and that's what I saw. And the last on the plane, I had crow. Just so you know, I ate crow all the way home on the plane, and because they were wearing me out on Twitter.
You were Team Byron, weren't you?
I was Team Byron, but you know, I think that these two races, this team put together not only two solid races from a driver's perspective and from a team perspective, but from a preparation perspective. They showed up at the racetrack. It seems like more prepared with all of their data, with everything they did, than any of the other contending teams. They didn't have to adjust. They just came in and got it done.
And it needs to be said, Blaney won 3 races this year. He won the Coke 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway, Talladega, Martinsville. Did not win Phoenix. Somebody named Ross Chastain won that race. Doesn't matter. He's still the champion. Blaney is a pretty cool customer, but he said there was a lot of emotion to this win.
I'm not a very emotional guy, and I did tear up on the last lap a little bit in the helmet, just thinking about a lot of stuff. I was a little sobbing baby on the radio after the race. I could barely speak, just thinking about everything. Proud of everybody. Been a long career in motorsports, and I don't know, just kind of overcome with emotion. I mean, if you try to do something for a long time, you're overcome with it, and it's just kind of part of it.
Brad Gillie, do we like emotional Ryan Blaney?
Yeah, 100%. The one thing I really loved, and I was there for Championship 4 Media Day in Phoenix, is that a lot of the drivers in all series talked about, yes, this is a big deal. And they didn't say it casually. A lot of them said it with enthusiasm. And Ryan Blaney was one of those drivers. You know, sometimes we go to these and people say, oh, we're just going to treat it like another race and so on and blah, 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 blah. The drivers who were involved in it this year, they were like, yeah, this really is a big deal. And I want to know it's a big deal. You know, I want someone to get out of the car and jump up on the roof. I mean, you could see there was a great shot at the end of the race as the cameraman's going right around behind Ryan Blaney. Like, his legs are shaking as his arms are in the air and on top of that race car. That's what we should see, not someone casually standing on the sill of the window and raising their arms in the air and go, yeah, just did it. No, I want to see someone crying. I want to see emotion. I want to see thrill, all of those things.
All right, Brad, I know that you got one-on-ones with all 4 of the championship contenders. Before the race ever happened. From those interviews, did you have a sense of who you thought was going to win?
I really didn't, because every single one of them seemed to be carrying around not just the same amount of confidence, but the same amount of focus, the same amount of desire, the same amount of everything. And really, as we've talked about it, we even talked about it last week, you could make a case for all four of those drivers why they would be the ones holding the trophy. Ryan Blaney was a bit easier to make that case because of his record at Phoenix Raceway. But look, Kyle Larson, been there before. He had led 200 laps earlier in the year. William Byron had won Phoenix earlier in the year. Christopher Bell had a two-time champion crew chief, and they were actually on the upswing. I mean, every one of them had a case as to why they could do it, and I think every one of them realized that and felt that confidence.
All right, about midway through the race, it got kind of dicey with Ryan Blaney trying to get around Ross Chastain. Kyle, did you think maybe the race was going to possibly get away from Ryan at that point?
So let's talk about emotion. Ryan Blaney showed a ton of emotion during that period of time. We tried to play, they tried to play his radio on air, but all we heard was a lot of beeps.
Yeah.
That was that. And then, we know these teams talk in code, so Ryan started giving hand signals as code. We saw that a couple of times on TV where he flipped off the Chastain from behind, like Chastain could see it through his camera. But the thing was, this is, in this case, is a case of two rights doesn't make it wrong, because both of them were in the right, as far as I'm concerned. There's no law that says that if you're not a non-contender, don't go to Phoenix and try to win the race. And that's what everybody seemed to believe, was a non-playoff driver shouldn't be up front winning the race. Ross Chastain drove through the pack just like the 12 car did of Ryan Blaney. Those two cars made passes all day long. They were so equal when they got to each other, they couldn't do anything with each other. And Ross did what a leader would do, create dirty air. And Blaney did what the second-place guy would do, create opportunities to try to get around. And the frustration overboiled at one point in time, and he run in the back. And I love Blaney's comment when he was asked, did you run into him on purpose? Heck yeah, I run into him on purpose. I was trying to get him out of the, but I don't think that either one of those drivers did anything wrong. And I think Chastain taking heat for winning a race is just ridiculous.
Well, Chastain said, I know he's mad. I don't care he's
That's
mad.
right.
And good on Ross. And by the way, here's exactly what Blaney had to say.
Yeah. Yes, I hit him on purpose. He blocked me on purpose 10 times. So, yeah, I hit him on purpose. I mean, what do you expect me to do?
Brad, are you amazed that Blaney was keeping track of how many times he blocked him?
I didn't count myself, but I'm sure Blaney did. But look, here's the deal. Go back to last year at Phoenix. Ryan Blaney led 109 laps in that race, but Ryan Blaney was a good teammate and finished second to Joey Logano, who won the championship. You know who was on Ryan Blaney's back bumper last year as a championship contender, finishing third? Ross Chastain. So if it's okay for Ryan Blaney last year to race one of the championship contenders hard and keep him behind him, then it's okay for Ross Chastain to do the exact same thing this year and go out there and win the race. And I'm not faulting Ryan Blaney. I would have been mad too. And have been, I might have let go of the wheel because I would have needed two hands to give him the bird. But I also get what Ross Chastain did and why Ross Chastain did it. They were pretty thrilled to win that race yesterday.
So this is where Brad's wrong. Okay, so let me tell you where you're wrong. Drivers never remember when they do it to somebody else, but they always remember when somebody does it to them. So that you got to take that into account, Brad.
Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like, and we'll talk more about Chastain in a little bit, I feel like this was a little bit of redemption. He catches so much flack about being over-aggressive, and I felt like he was totally in the right yesterday.
I felt like he was totally in the right, but I felt like a lot of the stuff was heaped onto him because of the aggression. Blaney's like, okay, I can heap it on Ross because I'm going to be okay with this, And I think we've seen that in the past with Ross. But yes, I believe that he was totally, totally in the right on everything he did. His job was to go win the race. Justin Marks said, go win me a race. And that's what Ross Chastain did.